Now, if you happen to visit the Iron Horse Cafe on the second or fourth Saturday of the month, drop by the Republic of West Florida Historical Museum, where kids of all ages, and that would include me, can play with model trains.
Trains, trains, and more trains. Model trains of every size, shape, and variety fill 2 giant rooms in the old Jackson School and spill out into the courtyard. Hundreds of trains chuff and huff and whistle. Some even smoke as they travel along literally miles of track through incredibly realistic little cities and towns and on through the countryside. As a certified tomboy growing up in a Florida town named for a railroad president, I always dreamed of having a model train. But even though we lived in a major railroad hub and my father worked for the railroad, I always got dolls and girly things for Christmas and birthdays. But this is what I really wanted.
I want to touch.
The trains are owned, maintained, and operated by members of the Greater Baton Rouge Model Railroaders. And this is their clubhouse, which is open to the public on the second and fourth Saturdays of the month.
This is what's known as 3-rail O-gauge, or line L trains, if you will. That's the common brand name for these type of things. And what you're running there is where we are these days with these remote controls that adults and kids can run the trains with.
Model railroader Clay Fourier says his passion for model trains began at an early age, but one of his greatest pleasures is sharing that passion with others, whether they're 8 or 80, or, well, somewhere in the middle.
My father was a railroad man.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right, well, there you go.
Yeah, so I grew up around the railroad tracks.
I'd say it's in your blood.
Yeah, absolutely. And he used to take me on the train with him back then when you could. When you could. Can't do that anymore.
Oh, no.
But I thought that was just the most wonderful thing in the world.
Oh, God.
It was, yeah.
You know, it's one of those things that if you experience something like that as a child,
right,
it becomes a touchstone with you and good times maybe with your dad.
Right.
And you keep that with you throughout your life.
Oh, I still remember it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I never forget that.
I see that in the parents who bring children here, too. The eyes of the kids light up, but the eyes of the parents light up, too.
Right.
That's
absolutely.
Since the early steam locomotives helped connect east to west to the modern freight and passenger trains that travel the rails today, many of us just seem naturally fascinated by trains. And whether you once had a model train or always wanted one, the Greater Baton Rouge Model Railroaders Clubhouse is a magical place to visit. All aboard!